Shalom Rav. In my remarks, I will try to achieve an understanding of two sentences concerning the Kotel. One sentence appeared in an article written in the 1930s. The title of this article was Machar Kotleinu, Behind Our Wall. The second sentence was said as an answer to a question. One sentence was carefully crafted, the other was spontaneous. More than 30 years passed between these two sentences. Wars were waged, tragedies occurred. A third of the Jewish people were murdered and slaughtered, and the remnants of these same people rose up and established the State of Israel. The first sentence was written in the 1930s as the Arabs tried to delegitimize the rights of Jews to pray at the Kotel. The second sentence was uttered upon the day of the turn to the Temple Mount and the Kotel to Jewish hands on the fourth day of the Six-Day War. The source, the author of these two sentences, was Rav Tzvi Yehuda Cohen Cook. Each provides a unique insight to the meaning of the Kotel. In the article reaffirming that the Kotel is part of the Jewish entity, Rav Tzvi Yehuda wrote the following words: "There are hearts and there are hearts. There are human hearts and there are hearts of stone. There are stones and there are stones. There are stones that are inanimate, and there are stones that they themselves are hearts." I was 15 at the time of the Six-Day War. Before the beginning of the hostilities, the odds were heavily in favor of the Arab states, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. They made a pact to wipe out the state of Israel. Parks here in Israel were prepared to become cemeteries. A day of prayer and fasting was declared all over the world, with many non-observant Jews participating. It is well known, Israel won a stunning victory. On the fourth day of the Six-Day War, Tzahal was poised to return to the Old City. The Old City, everyone knows that geographically, it's the part of Yerushalayim that is between the walls. But the real significance of the Old City is the Harav and the Kotel. I remember vividly listening to the radio as the troops entered the city we had yearned to see for 19 years. They returned to all those places that for hundreds of years had been victims of waste and contempt. We heard the words that were unbelievable, incomprehensible. Harav biyadenu. Who can believe that? A reporter accompanying the troops broadcasted live from the Kotel. I can still feel the excitement from his words. Ani yored kama madrigot. I am going down a few steps. Ani etzel Kotel. I'm at the Kotel. Ani nogea ba'avnei haKotel. I'm touching the stones of the Kotel. Ani lo dati. I'm not religious, but I'm touching the Kotel. And that reporter, and together with him, throughout the land, tears were flowing. Hardened soldiers, officers in the middle of the battles, started crying. And that moment, the reporter returned to Rav Tzvi Yehuda Cohen Cook, who was brought immediately with the troops, right after the troops, by Harav Goren to the Kotel. Harav, said the reporter, the whole world is listening. What can you say to them? And Rav Tziyuda declared with a quiet conviction that I still remember, Tomar la'olam, tell the world, Chazarnu habaita, we have returned home. Ulolam lo nazavota, and we will never leave it again. A heart, a home. Two different words, two different concepts. One of a heart that beats and sends blood of life to all parts of the body. The other, our natural abode that allows us to define ourselves and fulfill our potential as a people, as a nation. In any way we say it. The Kotel, Mokem HaMikdash, are integral to our being. The Kotel, every Jew, religious, non-religious alike, knows which war we're talking about, we're referring to. An entity, sublime, true, steadfast. Wars have been waged around it. Nations, religions have come and gone. And the Kotel is standing, seemingly unconcerned by historical events that have come to pass right next to it, right next to its stones. Through all the years, the Kotel seemed to be waiting for something, for someone to come, to claim it, to express the real and true meaning of these stones. And Be'ezrat Hashem, on the 28th day of Iyar, Chav Chet Iyar, Tavshin Kaf Zayin, Am Yisrael had returned to the Kotel and shown since then till today the yearning, the love of the Kotel and all it means. The Kotel is not a memory of the past. It is part of our entity. It defines us. The Shechina No'olam lo azva Shechina et HaKotel HaMaravi. The Shechina has never left the Kotel, because the Kotel is full of life. The Kotel tells us that though the building, the temple, was destroyed, but there's a Kedusha in Mokem HaMikdash. And why? Because the temple will be built once again. And this time, the binyan will be ad for eternity. For that reason, to be able to build a building that will be for eternity, it will come down Hashemayim. It's not something that human beings can do it themselves. But if we are deemed worthy and show our yearning for Beis HaMikdash and for the Shekhinah that is there, we will also take part of its structure. The Kotel tells us that the true meaning of the Jewish people was, always has been, and always will be, we are Am Hashem. Vasuli Mikdash, Vashachanti betocham. They will make me a sanctuary, and I will dwell amongst them. Tzam'a nafshi le'elokim lekel chai, said David HaMelech. My soul thirsts le'elokim, to Hashem, kel chai, full of the Lord, full of life. Matai avo ve'era'eh pnei Elokim. When will I come and appear before Hashem? Chag Sameach.